fight for everything that we deserve, but at the same time, like, we need to play basketball. That's what our fans crave, and that's what all of you crave as well, is you want the product on the floor. And at the end of the day, that's how you make the money, that's how you're marketable, that's what the fans get excited about, that's what the fans want to show up for. So, you know, it's business and it's a negotiation, and there has to be compromise on both sides, and, you know, we're starting to get down to the wire of it, and it's become really important. And you know, obviously I want to help in any way I can, and I've tried to educate myself the best I can. Obviously I can't speak to
that particular remark captures the central challenge the WNBA faces this season. Amid the usual swirl of internal conflicts and back and forth collective bargaining debates, Caitlin Clark made one crystal clear point: we cannot afford to put this progress at risk. And she's absolutely right.
WNBA fans are so excited because Caitlin Clark is finally back on the court playing basketball, and it seems like she is 100%. She is going 5v5. Team USA is currently holding their training camp, so all the ladies will be in Durham this weekend training. As you can see the roster here: Lauren Betts, Aaliyah Boston, Cam Brink, Paige Beckers, Veronica Burton, Sonia Citron, Caitlin Clark, Kalia Copper, Chelsea Gray, Brittany Griner, Dearica Hamby, Kiki Ariafen, Rakia Jackson, Brianna Jones, Kelsey Plum, Angel Reese, Juju Watkins.
In December 2024, Team USA's training camp in Durham brought together 16 of the top women's basketball talents, ostensibly to gear up for the 2026 FIBA World Cup. But beneath the dim drills and scrimmages, tension was palpable. If the WNBA and its Players Association fail to resolve their collective bargaining stalemate by January 9th, the 2026 season could be in serious jeopardy for these athletes, a reality, not an exaggeration. The roster featured stars like Lauren Jackson, Brianna Stewart, Kelsey Plum, Angel Reese, Paige Buchers, and Caitlin Clark. Yet, this gathering was about far more than just showcasing athletic skill. The camp came at a critical crossroads for the WNBA, highlighting a striking truth: the statements players make off the court may carry as much influence, if not more, than their actions on it.
I think there are different things that we can find ways to say, no, like, we certainly deserve that and we're not going to compromise on that, and then other things that we can probably compromise on. But like I said, like, this is the biggest moment in the history of the WNBA, and I don't want that to be forgotten. Similar, like, it's important that we find a way to, you know, play this next season, and I think our fans, and even everybody that has played in this league that has come before us.
Take note of how she frames this moment. This isn't just important, it's historic. Her immediate focus on securing play for the next season reveals a key truth. Caitlin Clark understands what needs to be said loud and clear. Growth cannot continue without active competition. Think back to the WNBA just a year ago. The 2024 season loomed. Clark was still finding her professional footing. Angel Reese's pro potential was unproven, and average attendance hovered around 6,500. Fast forward to today, and the Indiana Fever alone draw over 17,000 fans per game. This isn't incremental progress, it's a seismic shift. Clark's words carry weight because they reach beyond the court. They confront the business reality that seems overlooked in current negotiations. The WNBA just wrapped its most successful year ever. Ratings jumped 70%. New media rights deals secured $2.2 billion over 11 years, and expansion fees hit $50 million per franchise. This is the kind of organic momentum every professional league dreams of leveraging.
Give it up for Caitlin Clark's answer. Thank you, Caitlin. This is the biggest moment the WNBA has ever seen, and it's not something that can be messed up. I feel like I have been screaming this at the top of my lungs through all of the messiness that has happened over the past 2 seasons in the WNBA. You have a moment right now in women's basketball, and specifically in the WNBA. You have a boom that we have never seen in the history of this league. Do whatever you can to not mess it up, and they've already done multiple things. That is like shooting.
And there it is, the hard truth. Compromise may be unpopular in today's debates, but it's unavoidable. Players are pushing for universal charter flights, higher revenue shares, and better pay across the board, not just for playoff teams. These demands are justified, yet the immediate priority is securing enough agreement to prevent a work stoppage that could wipe out all the progress the league has made. At the same training camp, Kelsey Plum described the CBA talks as disheartening, highlighting a wide gap between the league and the Players Association. With December 2024 underway and a January 9th deadline looming, time to bridge that gap is running out. Unlike the NBA, which can absorb a lockout thanks to a massive fan base and established infrastructure, the WNBA doesn't have that buffer. This league is still building its foundation, pausing that growth. Now would be a setback with potentially permanent consequences.
Against them. Kelsey Plum off the screen, kicks to Caitlin Clark for 3. Caitlin Clark up the court. Another 3. Caitlin Clark off the screen, another 3. Her shot looks really good. There were other photos of her going around, I feel like the past couple weeks also, saying that it looks like she dropped some of the muscle that she did gain before last season. It's hard to tell. To be honest, you guys, I'm not really like body watching.
Watch this sequence closely. It perfectly captures the intense hunger for WNBA action during timeout. The offseason. Caitlin Clark hadn't played a competitive game since the 25th of September 2024, when the Fever fell to the Connecticut Sun in the first playoff round. Over 2 months without her on, the court had built tremendous anticipation, and yet, here she is, her movement fluid, footwork sharp, release effortless, every shot delivered with complete confidence. Any lingering questions from her rookie season, whether added muscle led to plantar fasciitis or other soft tissue concerns, vanish the moment you see her in action. She radiates health, agility, and, most importantly, pure enjoyment of the game.
We had the photos last year from Media Day when she was like flexing and all that, and you could clearly see that she had put on a lot of muscle, but it's hard to tell here, so I'm not really going to comment on it. But there were some fans that were saying it looks like she dropped some of the muscle that she put on, and a lot of people were wondering if that is why she had so many soft tissue injuries during last season, but again, I don't know, so I'm just going to leave it at that. And here's another clip, you guys, of Caitlin Clark's signature 3. She's dribbling the ball up the court, goes to her left, step.
Paige Bucher's game-winning sidestep against Caitlin Clark instantly went viral. Yet, while some critics rushed to spin it as proof of some larger narrative, they missed the real point. This is exactly what fans are hungry for. 2 extraordinary talents facing off in genuine vor. Competition, no manufactured drama, no social media stunts, just pure basketball. The dynamic between Clark and Buchers is fascinating, highlighting different paths to elite success. Clark arrived as the WNBA's most celebrated rookie and met every expectation, navigating relentless physicality and scrutiny to cement her star status. Buchers, with next year's spotlight, brings a contrasting skill set, more defensive flexibility, and a system-focused approach, making their matchups endlessly compelling. Importantly, this training camp, these scrimmages, and moments like this are exactly what the WNBA needs more of, not less. A work stoppage would wipe all of it out. No games, no gine, highlights, no viral plays, no casual fans turning into diehard supporters. The very engine that drives the league's growth would grind to a halt.
This is the kind of basketball that so many WNBA fans have been missing. And there's another clip that is also currently going viral, and it's Paige Buecher's sidestep 3 on Caitlin Clark. And now obviously the Caitlin Clark haters are loving this, but I also love this too. I love to see 2 great players like Paige, like Caitlin, playing either on the same team or against one another. But check this out. So there's a long rebound here. Paige gets it, pump fake, sidestep, drains the 3, and that is...
Angel Reese posts up Paige Buchers while attempting to screen Caitlin Clark with Jackie. Young rotating over for help. This sequence highlights the advanced defensive schemes the WNBA has long been underestimated for. Even in a practice setting, with players still getting familiar with one another, Clark's defensive presence is impossible to ignore. In this scrimmage, where teammates might normally ease up, the effort required to contain her is clear. Buchers actively denies her the ball, while Young provides timely help defense all, without a formal game plan. Now imagine that intensity in a playoff scenario. This also dismantles the oversimplified narrative that Clark can't play defense. Watch her. Positioning. She doesn't gamble for steals or overcommit. She stays disciplined, maintains her assignment, and funnels opponents toward help. This is textbook basketball. While not an elite defender, Clark's defensive competence is more than sufficient for someone carrying such a heavy offensive load.
We'll just call them Team Gray right here in Team USA training camp. But it is so interesting because so many outlets are picking up this clip and it's like, oh, Paige Bueckers drains a three in Caitlin Clark's face. And she did. She absolutely did. But this is fun. I just love to see all these young players out there.
This moment captures the pinnacle of women's basketball. Players from diverse backgrounds, different draft classes, and varied paths all converge, united by a single goal representing Team USA at the highest level. The energy is electric, visible in their celebrations, their intensity, and their unrelenting competition. This is women's basketball at its finest. Yet all of this momentum could vanish if the 2026 season is derailed by CBA issues. Team USA would continue to train, but the WNBA, the foundation that makes moments like this possible, would take a lasting hit. The stakes in these negotiations are high. Both sides have dadas, legitimate points, but the consequences of failure are uneven. A work stoppage would cost players a year of prime earning potential and halt league growth, while resisting player demands risks alienating fans and damaging relationships permanently. Players are asking for reasonable upgrades, universal charter flights not just for playoff teams, higher revenue share, and better compensation. Currently, the WNBA provides charters only for back-to-backs and playoff games, with most regular season travel still commercial. Compare that to the NBA, where elite athletes enjoy full charter access, avoiding the physical toll of long flights and layovers. Players also want a clearer, fairer slice of league revenue. Unlike the NBA's 50/50 formula, the WNBA's 2020 CBA lacks a guaranteed split, leaving players in a gray area, especially significant now with new media deals projected at $200 million annually starting in 2026. The debate over affordability is real. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert notes the WNBA has historically operated at a loss, subsidized by the NBA, though analysts argue accounting may obscure true profitability. Players counter that investing in charter flights, better salaries, and improved conditions fuels growth, enhancing performance, fan experience, and league expansion. The question becomes, can the league afford it now or wait for future revenue? Caitlin Clark's perspective cuts to the heart of this tension. She doesn't challenge the players' deservingness, but stresses that the cost of not playing could outweigh the cost of compromise. Her pragmatic, business-minded view is exactly what these negotiations need. Consider the stakes. The 2024 WNBA season averaged 1.2 million national viewers, up from 440,000 inches 2020, with finals averaging 1.63 million. Attendance jumped 48% year over year. This is explosive growth directly tied to stars like Clark, Angel Reese, and Paige Bueckers, but it's fragile. Women's sports can lose momentum quickly without consistent exposure. The NWSL's 2021 surge, for example, collapsed in 2022 due to scandals and scheduling issues, taking 2 years to recover. The WNBA cannot afford a similar setback. Expansion adds another layer. San Francisco joins in 2025, with Portland and Toronto planned. $50 million expansion fees reflect investor confidence, relying on continued star-driven buzz and ticket sales. A work stoppage threatens all of that. Clark has even turned down lucrative overseas opportunities, prioritizing the WNBA's growth and demonstrating absolute commitment. When someone with that level of dedication stresses the need to keep playing, the problem today antenna stations and support combination. January 9th deadline becomes critical. Without a new CBA, the current agreement expires, and a lockout or strike could ignite legal battles, erode trust, and leave lasting damage even after a resolution is reached. The solution lies in genuine compromise. Players need to define their absolute non-negotiables, while exploring phased approaches for other requests. Full charter access, for instance, might not be realistic by 2026, but could be achievable by 2028. Similarly, revenue sharing could gradually move toward a 50% split. The league must recognize that these demands are fair. These are elite athletes driving major revenue and fan interest. Treating them as a charity or a developmental league only undermines the WNBA's credibility. To be a truly professional league, investment in the players and product is essential. Caitlin Clark's press conference served as a wake-up call for everyone involved. She emphasized what truly matters: playing basketball, growing the game, and building on the sport. League's momentum, negotiation tactics, media posturing, and short-term conflicts are secondary to this mission. If the WNBA and Players Association fail to protect this, future letting ego, stubbornness, or short-term thinking derail progress, it would rank as one of the most serious missteps in sports history. The weeks ahead will shape women's basketball for the next decade. Will the WNBA capitalize on the incredible momentum from 2024, or risk a work stoppage that alienates fans and 24,000 smallers, damages the brand? Will players secure the compensation and conditions they deserve, or be forced to choose between principles and careers? Caitlin Clark's message is unambiguous: find a way to play. In the end, it's about the game, the fans, and the future of women's basketball. Everything else comes second.